today to the broadcast of today. Yeah, this is Patient Edu. This is the PULPIT Bandit series, Xtra +1. Reaching out to you from our studio here. Today's broadcast or program rather, we are going to talk about pressing issues that's bedeviling the country or perhaps space known as Nigeria. As for our broadcast today is not going to be a very long one. Hopefully, it's going to be a brief one. We'll try as best as we can possible to ensure that the broadcast of today is brief. So, by so doing, we are not gonna play much videos on today's broadcasts because today's broadcast is just one of a kind. We are gonna discuss about pressing issues bedeviling Nigeria, just as we said before. Yeah, for that reason, I'll have to let you all know the topic for today's broadcast. And the topic of today's broadcast goes right there on your screen. Hardship bites harder. In where? In Nigeria. Oh yeah. The situation of Nigeria has gone beyond the Rubicon of sanity, and it has shown that Nigeria is an insane society, perhaps an insane asylum. That is what Nigeria is all about. So, Nigeria is a place whereby truth seekers or speakers or soldiers of truth have been persecuted. You get that? Alright. We are not talking on the side of very dark man, neither are we here to support him. But we are here to clear up an air that we have already raised a while ago, highlighting you all of the role of the man called Very Dark Bandits. You know? And it seems all our warnings definitely fell on deaf ears. It's like pouring water on a stone and expecting the stone to grow, of which is practically impossible. Alright? Good. Yeah, from signals that we have seen or from trends that's going on long before now through critical analysis, we already knew who Very Dark Man was before he hit the limelight. And that's why here on Nation to Do, what we do is we point out the fingers to let people know that there is a danger coming. But what good is it to warn a black man, more especially a Nigerian, of upcoming dangers? Because they just walk right through it and they don't care. When they fall victim to such dangers, which they were forewarned before it got to them, they'll turn around and say, oh, it's God, let's pray to God. These deplorable things called Nigerians, or appalling things called Nigerians, have always done the same mistake over and over again, even up to this time right now. No one is still saying the apostasy, the error of what's on ground. They just don't want to see it. They just keep believing a uncertainty that they have made certain in their mind, you know. The Bible reading for this program still remains this one here, about the apostasy in the book of Isaiah 24:5-6. What that very chapter and verse is trying to tell us is that we should call out errors. Wherever we see errors, we should call it out. We should stand and fix it. But how can we stand and fix it when the major populace lives and dwells in errors? Very Dark Man was created for this project and is playing out his role nicely. We have seen preachers and traditional worshippers or spellcasters, the one they know as Shangomas and Babalawos, as Ezedibias and so on. We have seen them all come out, even prophets coming out to talk good about Very Dark Man and praying for him. That's why I said, you people are deplorable set of bandits, every single one of you. The moment you come out as a black man, as a Nigerian, as an Igbo, as a Yoruba, I see you as an idiot. Straight up, I see you as an idiot. You are a pastor, you are a prophet, you are a Sangoma, a Babalawo, whatsoever you are. You worship high frequency spirits that knows and have powers. Yet it's your stupid deity or it's your useless gods that you worship cannot even tell you what's going on. Your gods cannot tell you who is genuine and who is fake. That was how we had an encounter with a prophetess in the US, a top prophetess in the US. And she said to me that she literally called me a racist. And I looked at her. I said, yo, women, are you blind? Can't you see the color? He said, I'm a racist against the black Africans, the black Americans. I'm a racist. I asked her, can't you see? Or maybe as you're looking at me, you're saying the color of George Washington. Not George Washington. You're saying the color of what's his name? Bill Clinton. Or what? Do I look white to you? Do I look Caucasian to you? Another black professor said, I'm a racist. I should get properly educated. And the moment they keep saying it's rubbish, I sit back and I look at them. I only shook my head. You know why I shook my head? Because a slave is always a slave. And a slave will uphold the integrity of slavery. So it never baffled me for once. Here is what a black woman said. She said, I freed 1,000 slaves. I could have freed more. That's 1,000 more. If only they knew we were slaves. That is a strong word coming from, that's her name right there on the screen, Harriet Tubman. That's what she said. So now, for black professors in top universities in the United States saying that I'm a racist, with a prophetess I hear from God saying that I'm a racist, I should get properly educated before I speak to them. They only reminded me of Professor, I won't call him Professor, but let's just give him that title, P.L.O. Lumumba. When I look at the so-called Africans that are educated, I see serious baboon, very, very serious baboon, trying to act like a man. What good is an education, or perhaps it's education to the blacks, whereby their critical reasoning capability is totally dead? In fact, not dead, that decomposed. What brought about that is the identity of Africans, our own identity. There is a professor, or perhaps a doctor known as Ante Diop, that wrote a thesis that the UNICEF or United Nations or whosoever approved and rated it, thereby saying the name of Africa is Archip land, which is Arabic, and they said it means the mother of mankind. Before Archip land, in fact, we don't need to go there. What's the oldest civilization? What's the oldest place? They took it to the Sumerian Evan civilization without taking it down, because there was a civilization for the Sumerian tales or story that they talked about. There was, and that was the name of Africa. This land they call Africa today. If we start counting how many times they have picked the name of the land, if you bamboozle, you will be baffled. So now for Ante Diop to come out and write a stupid book that is being taught in universities today, without the book of Ante Diop, you will never ever graduate as a professor. Now I say, look at monkeys, baboons, feeling like human beings. Ante Diop, I have no regards, no respect for you, even if you are late. Posthumous disrespect is what I have. So you are a chimpanzee. Including Professor P.L.O. Lumumba, every other idiotic professors that insulted themselves in the name of insulting me, and also to the prophetess that hears from God that said Africa's name is Archip land. And I asked her, you're a prophet, right? You hear from God, the Spirit of God tells you things. Then your God must be a dog. Anubis. You should have asked your God what was the name of Africa. So your God doesn't even know the name of Africa, and yet you hear from God. They are all baffled. Some said, "Oh, give us your test, bring your proof, let us vet it, and let us see if you're right or wrong." You cannot stand against the great Ante Diop and say, "Yes, because you all are victims, and you love victims." That's a simple way to deal with a black man, because these things called blacks, they are miserable. Don't get me wrong, it's not all blacks, because we are also the same. They are miserable. If that is the way things should have been, that blacks would remain permanently miserable, we wouldn't have the likes of Philip Emeagwali, the one that is responsible for the modern day internet computer system. He is responsible for it. He was an orphan child from the Nigerian Civil War, and Red Cross took him, I don't know, I think Red Cross also took him and a few others to America at the age of 14. He got there, he never had any prior educational knowledge or anything at all. He got there, at the end, what became he? How about Ben Carson? He never did anything about surgeries. He was never a surgeon, but he's the best. So when we talk about blacks, when we bring them down, humiliate them according to what you call insult. When we do that to them, it tries to wake up their mind. You know why? Because I'm not black. I'm not black. Does this color look like black to you? Huh? Does it look like black to you? This headgear is black. Huh? This pouch of this phone is black. I'm not a black man. We are melanated ones. Melanated. That's the right term for us. And when you look at those ones, you say they are white. There's no man, no human being is white. You don't know what white is. That is the general misconception of deception that they have given out to every single one of you out there to make you believe in lies. For my final submission that I gave to the so-called academia, the world of the academians that I gave to them, I asked them one question. The land of France, which later became France till today, was there any group, organization, or body that approved their name to become France? That's the question I asked. Even England, even the Saxons, known as Germans of today, who approved it? So it's just as they did in the Council of Nicaea and in the Berlin Conference, where they sat in Europe and partitioned Africa. In fact, they were there, they named it Africa. You know, we know about Africanus, Scipio Africanus that conquered Africa, and through there they gave Africa the name Africa. But in order to rule the deception, they now had to come up with so many theories and theses proving that Africa's name was never the name of Scipio Africanus. It originated from here, it originated from there, and look at the blacks. God himself has protected you. Because when I read in the book of Genesis, it said he repented God that he created man. Who are the men or the people God repented? For your information, to repent is to regret. It was the blacks that God regretted creating. Because these people as people don't Rubicon of sanity. They love idleness, mental idleness. The blacks are highly active when it comes to committing evil, worshipping stone, Lucifer, any idol. Blacks and blacks. Today's program, we have to digress and to bring it down on you that is listening to this program, that will watch it later, so that your brain should be open for you to digest what we want to talk about. The topic is this: hardship bites harder in Nigeria. Hardship bites harder in Nigeria. That's why we have to look for some hardcore evidence or speech that will awaken you. Today we are not going to play any video here because this is like a one-on-one with just two evidences, two materials I will bring up on the screen, and the first one is this one. Okay, so now we looked at the signals that have been going on for a very long time, and we talked about very dark and the role it's playing, or it was created or generated to play, and it's doing it nicely. During the end bad governance protest, you Nigerians, you that is listening, share this thing, follow this page for more inciting podcast or speech that is going to make you start thinking. This channel will make you start using your brain, because the brain inside your cranium is meant to think critically, but the one inside your cranium is empty, is filled with evil, is filled with darkness. That's why when I look into the eyes of the black, I just see darkness. It's obviously evil. We don't have any apology for anyone for what we are saying. No apology for anyone, because we have tested the wickedness of the black in life formats. Very dark man came out and he said that the government should raise army, that they should force protest at all costs, that they don't have any other country apart. This is the Nigeria very dark man intended to say. And the saga, I know most of you won't understand this, because we come from a higher realm. This is ancient. The saga that culminated between Derry Darkman and Bobrisky was stage managed. It was controlled. So the sentencing of Bobrisky by omission and by commission was also designed for this particular time. You know, these evil men, they have a foresight. They can see introspectively ahead of time. So they set out their parameters. They have option A to Z. After having option A to Z, they still have option A1, option B1, option C1, like that to Z again. So they have rolled out different agendas of perception that will keep you guys busy talking here runs out. And you keep talking until the 8 years tenure of BANDITS is completed. Then a new one will come in and the talk will continue. What do we have on the screen there? It says, court orders Very Darkman to delete defamatory post about Falana. Pause. Court orders. And another section of the media. Where is this one coming from? This one is coming from PM News. This is an FM News. This is an official Zoo media instrument. And another one that I saw, I think it should be bunch of posters. So it says files the Falana suing Very Darkman 500 million. You know, when you take Very Darkman, add up Very Darkman with his entire vintage generation family and even the future to come, you know what up that where are they going? They are suing Very Darkman 500 pounds balance. You remember that your name came up in the crime scene, but no one could investigate it because Nigeria is a crime scene. So the one that you say you are suing for this rubbish right now is to keep Nigeria consistent so that they will start talking. And they will start talking. This is quite laughable. Then, as all this is going on, don't worry. Today we said no video. If not, we would have showed you video. But in our next series, we'll show you videos. Where we saw the One Nation people going to the UK protests to let them know that they want to have One Nation. Is it not a shame one has got them? Is it a shame? So you have to go to UK to ask for freedom. Can't you see that you are permanent slaves? Other countries are doing their thing right now. They put their foot on the ground and say, no, you want to change. Or you go to that daddy, okay, Papa, okay. Come and look into our family. I would like to separate the game from saying what is there? Sunday ago, going to, and now look, these the finest crop of Nigerians that we have. Where are the Nigerians that solve physics and all those stuffs around the world? Where are the Nigerian intelligent kids that are performing wonders around the world? Where are they? For you to have an entity like Sunday going to the UK or meeting someone trying to discuss or negotiate freedom, I said this is absolute deception. Today, Very Darkman and the Falana, they are in one trouser and taking it out together. This is Pop Daddy anti-business. Mr. Falana anti-business. Very Darkman They are just acting. They are acting. It's a deceptive game. This saga will continue perhaps throughout next week. Another saga will come. I told you that week in, week out, the year runs out. One saga to the other, one saga to the other. And your so-called media personalities, your so-called online influencers, your so-called social media content makers are all gossiping. Gossiping everywhere. Gossiping is a shame to every excluding none. You have a social media handle, you are an online influencer, with your pay, you have not been able to make any positive impacts that make the government wake up. Apart from the young man known as David Day. David Day is doing a very great job. Yeah. Patient to do, we just don't support anyone. We have to cheat out. Because at the end of it, since you are a Nigerian and you have a Nigerian body scan, at some point you always cash out. That's why we don't support them. Even if we mention the name of David May, we can't trust him 50%. So the highest trust that we can give any person in Nigeria should be like 45. Goes beyond 35%, it shouldn't be more than 45%. And that 45% goes to the Benny. Apart from that, any other man that we can give anything that's above 45% is Mazen Amdekan. We give him 98 or 99.9%. Why we are not going to give him 100% is science has proven it to us that efficiency can never be 100%. It's either 99.9%. So Mazen Amdekan is the one that takes it 99.9%. Why it's not like that is because he's a human. He's also a man. And it's a fraction of error. Always step in. Such error is what led to his betrayal by the people he trusted. So that's why he didn't get the 100% of the time. We always make out for such miscellaneous errors. So David Nde is the second highest ranked person, or that had the highest score, which is about 5%. But you see, the likes of this influencers on the screen, this guy is a seller from the pit of the work he has already sold because he was generated in the time. He's doing his job nice. Come to think of it, if Very Dark Man was genuine with the expose and the evidences he had, would they sue him or will they be talking about this? The answer is no. If Nigeria was a place that's working right, Falana would have been picked up and quizzed for them to know what role he had to play. They summoned Very Dark Man to the House of Reptiles, aka the Nigerian House of Reps. He got there dressing like a shaman, a juju professional priest, with all the dramas and everything he displayed there, with all his snake charmers and everything that he went there with. None of the Falanas was there, even the abomination called Bobrisky. He wasn't there. So what was the reason of going to the courts? What was the reason of going to the courts? Not even going to the court, going to the House of Reptiles. What was the reason? Did he vindicate anyone? Did convict anyone? Did it bring about reprimanding to anyone? The answer is no. So all those things is just a white elephant project. You Nigerians, you appalling, deplorable bandits called Nigerians. Till this moment, none of you can think it works. All I see you lazy ass things called Nigeria do every now and then come online to publish. Absolutely publish. That is get success. Share this channel, follow this page, because we are hitting hard. We have been busy with a whole lot of things, so that's why we've not been able to make our stream. But today we had to come out because, like we said before, we have a lot of things to talk about. Our nation is here to stay because we are not going back. We are not going back down. You know? Instead of you appalling things called Nigerians to speak out, everyone has taken side. Okay, October 1st till now, which is 15th. I don't know if where you are now, if you've gotten to 15th or you are still in 14th. That means it's 2 straight weeks after the failure of the October 1st protests. Now this is like 2 weeks later. Very dark man resurfaced again. Maybe a protest or maybe the government or whoever, they are sensing problem that wants to come up in Nigeria. They brought out very dark man again. So that the storyline will continue. We are here to let you all know that hardship bites harder right now in Nigeria. Hardship bites harder. And you all think that this entity called Very Dark Man is feeling it. No, he doesn't feel it because he's well paid. It's well paid. Nigeria, a truth sayer will come out and they arrest you for saying the truth. They persecute you. So, if you all don't know that hardship bites harder in Nigeria, take a look at this image on your screen right now. Bam. That is the image. How much is that bread sold for? They said in 2023 that bread was sold for 10k. But right now the bread is being sold for, look at how useless the bread looks like. Look at how useless the bread looks like. It says the bread is now sold for 48,500 from 10k in 2023. Look at the price. Just have a look at it. You can see it. I've zoomed. Just zoom it out on your screen there. You'll see it. It's on the shelf. Look at the price. Look at it there. Can't you see it? 48,500. One bread. One. 48,500. What did they make? What did they use in producing this bread? Is it the one that the angels? Yes, so I now have the idea. I know where this bread came from. Oh, thank you, Lord. I'm from the realm of the spirit. I'm saying it. I know where the bread comes from. Yes, that bread is from God. You remember, God visited his son in Nigeria. The one, the criminal known as Adeboye. God went to his house. That's sad. Say that. Professor said, yet empty brain, empty heads. That's why black American professors are profited. Oh, you are not educated enough. You are not mature. I say I don't need to. You people have been taught from running just as. Oh, and they don't want us to develop and meet up with the Western world. Oh, and they don't ask Lumumba to shut up. Ask him who are those that he said they don't want us. Say the truth. Speak it out. Huh? These are people that have been paid to help keep the world on your knees as this or ever. And I can rightly tell you that majority of the things that you are taught in school, higher institutions, graduated, became professors, doctors, and majority of these things are lies. Everything is lies. But can you tell them the truth? No, you don't want to say that because you need to get the certificate so that you can get life and continue with the trajectory of lights, deceiving others. The deceiver has been deceived. This program is taking much of our time. Never wanted to get 10 minutes, but now we've got 35 minutes. So I suppose by 40, 45 minutes we should be done. Yeah. Now look at it on your screen. Bread, one loaf of bread sold for 48,500. 8,500 short of making 50,000. You know what? This bread, if it's too expensive, it's not more than $2. It's not more than $2. It's very bread that looks. I don't know what I'll call it. That looks like a big bread. It cannot be more than $2. But in Nigeria, they are selling it over $30. How much is your minimum wage? That is where I'm driving to. Minimum wage is 30,000 naira. Up to this moment, the government, the necessary offices that are meant to pay out that money, they have vehemently refused to pay out that money, claiming that there is no money in the government, in their system, in their accounts. But they can sell a loaf of bread for 48,500 naira. And there are some idiots amongst you right now that are buying this bread for 48,500. You buy it to use it to flex, to show people that you can eat bread for 48,500 naira. That is why I said the blacks is it Somalia during the time of Somalia and Sudan, during the time of Farah did. I think one of the things that led to the civil war that happened in that country was the rise in the cost of bread. It was among one of the things that led to civil war. What is happening in Nigeria today, if it happens in any part of the world, instantaneously there will be a breakdown of war and people chasing the way of the president, those that are in charge. Yeah, you all know it. It's not possible. Burkina Faso. Kenya. Look at Kenya. Look at Sri Lanka. Look at all these places. Once they've had enough, say enough is enough. Look at Venezuela. Rise up. Nigeria, don't try to rise up because people who are rising up have already sold you out. Sold you out. One bread, 48,500. One bread. Does very dark man care about you? Does he care about you? The answer is it's a shame. A terrible shame. Alright, you all need to wake up. Like we said before. Follow us, follow this channel. Share our broadcast, let it go round, let it go far and wide as it keeps going round. or people to take out their time to listen to what we have to say or what we are preaching about. Open up their brains so that they can think accordingly as humans, not as objects. When we say you are an object, an animal is even far, far better than mere objects. Objects don't move except they carry out someone carrying it and puts it somewhere and just away. He or she puts it. So you Nigerians are more of objects. Animals have more animals. So wake up. If you hear perhaps get at any time. Starting. So the best thing you can do is follow this channel so whenever we come out, whenever we make uploads, it automatically appears in your inbox and you see it and things. That's the reason why we just need you all to follow us. Whenever we come out, you get the notification in your inbox and you can watch us at any time. Alright. We need you all to think. Think of this issue that is bedeviling you, that has really put the entire land. Think. That is the only way we'll get to change. Alright, people. We are done for the broadcast of today. We will see you all in the next one. In the next exciting episode of the PULPIT Bandits. So from me, us here in the studio, to you all out there, to say, have a wonderful day. Enjoy the rest of your day and